This week, lawmakers on Capitol Hill voted to begin the process of repealing the Affordable Care Act. But local activists are concerned about their health care coverage under a new administration. News 8's Sarah Tamer spoke to some of them today and is here to explain some of their biggest concerns. Sarah?
That's right, Eric. Plans to repeal and replace Obamacare have been the topic of conversation under the new administration. Local activists gathered at Cameron Park in La Crosse today to hold a Save Our Healthcare rally. Most of the activists I spoke to today say they fear repealing the Affordable Care Act without a concrete plan to replace it will put them and their families at risks. It's a discussion Americans across the nation are taking part in.
Healthcare is a right, not a privilege.
As President-elect Trump prepares to take on a new role, Americans will start to see some changes. Among those is healthcare, which some local activists fear is in jeopardy.
To start by repealing Obamacare without even having put together a plan or even checked, looked for alternatives and looked and seen what works about Obamacare, I think is putting the cart before the horse.
The plan to repeal the Affordable Care Act could affect nearly 20 million people who are insured under plans on the marketplace. One local activist says before the Affordable Care Act, he had to put off various health procedures, including a colonoscopy, simply because he couldn't afford it. But he says that changed under Obama's health care plan.
My health insurance that I was purchasing on the private market now would cover this routine screening.
Changes were also seen by those who work at free clinics in the area.
The number of people we had coming to the free clinic because they needed to, because they didn't have insurance, dropped in half.
But activists say although there are problems with the Affordable Care Act, having a plan altogether is what makes the difference.
I really think that, there are real problems with Obamacare. I think there are problems with the Medicare program and Medicaid in terms of how they're administered and how they're run in a variety of ways. But nonetheless, I think they're doing what needs to be done to provide health care for people.
Today's rally coincides with similar rallies planned around the nation. Several local elected officials and representatives of the healthcare system were also present at today's rally.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah. In a weekly address, Republican lawmakers defended actions taken last week by Congress to prepare for the full repeal of the Affordable Care Act, saying a new program would be created to provide more flexibility and choices for coverage.